It's about that time for a midweek podcast with your boys, Tanner Chinny Chin Chin, a boy named Troy, and a motherfucking Jason. Let's start the show.
I
Oh,
liked that intro for Troy, a boy named Troy.
a boy named
Thank you.
It rhymed a little bit. Oh my god. I feel like my veins are popping out right now. I just this one. I always have this one vein popping out on the right side of my head. Is at the right side.
Is it like when you're angry thing? Because I heard that like when
Do I look angry right now?
no, okay, yeah, I know, but like, is it triggered by something? Is what I mean because
I think it's there when it's very apparent when I drink, and it's also
uh,
very apparent when I smile.
So what if you're
Look at
drunk
that.
and then you
Look how
smile?
huge that thing
Oh
is.
my god, it's huge,
oh
bro.
my god,
I don't-
okay,
Wow.
that's a little graphic. I think we need to blur that one out. If we
Wait,
can,
I wish you didn't show me that.
It's so, it's
post
so
edit.
fucking
Let's see if we can
weird.
get a Gaussian
I don't
blur.
know. No one else has that. It's like it's
Let me
like
see if I
that.
have that.
That one vein is working so hard to pump blood.
No, I don't
No.
have it.
Me and Tanner
Ah.
are normal.
That's
I'm
unfortunate.
just a weird motherfucker, dude.
Wow.
Oh Jesus! All right, so I wanted to bring something to the podcast this episode because it was just a random idea that I thought about. So, like, I was talking to a good friend of mine, and we're talking about why people get really sad, or like the point in our lives right now. Why are we scared of the future in terms of like relationship wise? Since I just kind of got out of something that really kind of tested me, and it's just more like why am I feeling more sad about this one? And I think I've come to the conclusion, or we've come to the conclusion that a lot of us are afraid of uncertainty. So being that when you lose a certain relationship that you think could have been like something that could have been the last one, you're afraid, especially at this point in our lives, our quarter life crisis.
Quarter life crisis.
Quarter life crisis, where we're just trying to find that thing that sticks, that solid thing that keeps you through life. So maybe so at this point, it's not really, the relationship is not what I care about. It's just like, I think we're just scared to be lonely at the end of the day.
What are your thoughts on that, Troy? Because I have something I want to say about it. But
I'll go ahead and say I thought what he said was good, but at the same time, I don't see it didn't really specify this point in our life. Like
This point-
there's
because
always
I- 'cause
uncertainty.
you all-
I mean,
I
that's
feel like
very.
we
Your reasons are very general. Like,
Because the fact that,
we're
like,
always afraid to be lonely.
But I think we're afraid to be lonely now because we're afraid of the uncertainty in the future, and by securing it so young, like a love so young, we don't have to worry about. That's just one
No,
less thing to
okay.
worry about.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why at this point in lives that things kind of feel a lot more vivid, and I think it's because we are just leaving the stage of our life where everything has been set and pre-recorded for us, where we go through this track of school and everything, and now we're at a point where we're not forced to interact with other people. We're forced to make our own choices and face those consequences. And so when we have to deal with relationships, now it's not a matter of having to go to class or go to these club meetings and seeing these people and then doing these connections. Now you actually have to put in work to say, hey, after work, can I
Maybe
give
I
you a
just don't
call?
want to. Yeah, maybe right now I just don't want to do the work. Like
You cut out. Sorry, what'd you say?
I said maybe I just don't want to do the work. Maybe I was content with having something.
I don't think it's that. I think that because I've seen you and you're definitely willing to put in the work, and you're the type to, do what I feel like you do what needs to be done.
That's right.
But definitely now is the time where we're gonna feel a lot of loneliness because we're not forced into social situations.
That's true. I definitely. But I'm also
Yeah.
like I feel like I'm more extroverted than both of you, so it might hit me more.
What do you mean hit you more?
Like it'd be the
Yeah.
because loneliness, because like
Oh, because a lot of your happiness comes from
interactions with
interaction,
with,
and then when you lose that, it hits you harder.
yeah
Yeah. I see
And
what you're saying.
actually, so last podcast, we had talked about something about caring about what other people think about you,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of want to
Yep.
make some comments about that because I've thought about it a little bit more, and I
You had
think
some
that
insight.
what's up?
You had some new insight.
No, okay, it's not about what I was thinking about you. Well, I guess it does, but that's not what I wanted to bring up. But I wanted to bring up that I think that I want to retract some parts of what I said because I do think that
Is that right?
caring about what other people think about you is what builds that human relationship with that person. You know, and it's
Ooh.
when you allow yourself to be have certain expectations of when you allow other people to have expectations of you, that's what builds that genuine connection where now like we're building each other up in some sort of way in some cases, and then in other case I think and I think that's important for building, you know, friendships and stuff like that, but I also think that it can be very toxic, so I think it's a very volatile thing.
It's definitely
Yeah,
like
so-
you need to find that middle ground, but I feel
Yeah.
like no one ever really does.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, I mean I think you can, and I think
You
it's
think it's
just
possible? You think it's more possible? You think it's more? Do you think it's more common? Do you think it's a bell curve type deal?
I don't think
Just the other way.
you know, I don't really know. I don't know if it's common, but I know it's possible because there are certain like channels in my life where I feel um like I don't really care what people think about me, and I feel in a healthy way.
Yeah, I think
But
it's a phase. Like, you know, it's a spectrum. Sometimes you're at your high where you don't care about whatever. You
Mhm.
have your lows where like
Yeah.
you're
Either
everyone's
way, I
opinion
think we can
matters.
agree. You need like a little bit of both. Whether you lean more towards one side, I think
Sure, you're being
only care about
lukewarm.
what people think, or only caring about what you think. Like,
yeah, you're right. You have to find that healthy
Wow, you're
balance.
being so lukewarm, Troy.
I'm so
But
lukewarm
I mean,
right
in
now.
this case, you know, it makes sense. I like
Moderation
the
is
choice.
key.
That's
Moderation
right.
is key.
So like,
What else you got for us today, Jason?
well, I was just was gonna continue a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So like, with that fear in mind, I mean, I guess like this is the fear that's been kind of haunting me lately. Is that like I know there's probably people out there for everyone. You know, Troy's already got his. Tanner and I are still single, and it's just like, what if wait? I have to wait till I'm like 45 because like I like to think like I like to plan out things, and even though like not everything follows to plan, I like to have like kind of a route where I'm headed and like special checkpoints in my life. Like, oh, right now I'm at 22 and I got my first job. Easy, set. At like 25 or between 25 and 30, I was hoping to get married. And like, what if I missed that checkpoint? And then what if I missed the other checkpoint where it's like I have my first kid at 32 or something?
Yeah. So this actually goes back to what you were saying before about fear of uncertainty. And the thing is that in my own life, I'm not afraid of the uncertain. For me, like I embrace, you know, new things. I embrace not having these things set because I like, you
It's
know,
exciting, right?
yeah, it's exciting for me. You know, it's like an
I feel
adventure.
the
It's
same
like,
way.
This
ooh,
is
all
why
right, now
I liked reading, the
You cut out
endings
what?
to this is why I like reading the endings to like movies and
you're fucking, yeah,
I
the
like
fucking worst.
spoilers because I don't
Oh,
that uncertainty is like so important. So like
oh,
You like to know that, you know, certain things are in place to
yeah,
happen.
so like I know how you get there. Like let's say I know Superman dies at the end or something, and it's just
No.
like
And you know what, dude? And the thing is that I fail a lot in a lot of areas of my life, and that's because I don't always know how things are gonna go, and I kind of just prod sometimes into a point where, you know, it just doesn't work out in my favor. But, you know, I still do it because I think that I think it's number one, I think it's fun, like Troy said, and number two, I think that it's just important to be able to put yourself out there, put yourself out into the unknown, fail, and then learn from it. You know.
yeah, I'm a very risk averse person, I think.
What about you, Troy?
I agree completely with everything you said. And if I had to add something extra, I feel like I have a question for you. Do you feel like you are confident in yourself? Because with me, I feel like I'm confident in myself. And even though I don't have like all these big plans planned out, right? Like when I'm gonna get married or have kids, blah blah blah. I feel like I'm gonna be good enough to make whatever I need to happen like happen.
Are you
That's
talking to me?
exactly. He's talking to me, I think.
Yeah. I was basically talking to Tanner. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I agree 100%, dude. And
Yeah.
I feel that, dude, because like I know that, I know that when shit hits the fan, like I know shit's gonna be rough, but I know that I'm gonna figure something out. It might not be the perfect solution,
Mhm.
but I'm not gonna let it phase me, kind of thing. Because I'm just like put my head down and like figure it out. And if shit's hitting me really hard, like just take it for a little bit, take the beating for a
Yeah.
bit, and then just rise above it in a way. But
Yeah.
Hmm.
I feel like if you keep that mentality, like your 20s are going to be awesome. Like you're going to have the exciting, mysterious, like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen, explore. And at the same time, you have the confidence and, belief in yourself, like, hey, this bad thing happened, but I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And and it is definitely a confidence in myself. But it doesn't feel like overly pretentious or anything. It's not like I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Confidence
I'm
in
better
yourself
than other
is
people.
not being pretentious. Like you're
Yeah,
allowed to be
that's true.
confident.
Yeah. It could be a fine line.
For me, it's just definitely like I know, like I'm not scared kind of thing. I'm just
Yeah. You're going to be okay.
yeah.
I
What do you think?
I think I know for myself. Like I always think I don't always doubt myself. Like I know I'm gonna be okay in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like always in the moment. I think about the future and it's scary to me still.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't stop me from like keep striving for something, and
Yeah.
it doesn't stop me from working hard or
Mm.
doing whatever. But like every now and then, I like to think like I am a confident guy. I am a smart. I'm good looking. I have a job and everything. But like every now and then, I just like question like am I on the right path for myself?
Yeah, and you just can't. I think that you just kind of you can't really.
Playing these things
Okay.
out.
No, I wasn't gonna say that. I was gonna say that you can't really think of it like that. But I mean, I guess that we kind of do, because I mean, us together, we're always looking for better opportunities so that we're not in the same position that we are now. We're always looking for the next
Next
step
high,
above, so that yeah. But at the same time, like you can't be afraid of where you are now. Like I'm not like I don't worry about the things that I'm doing now, because I'm like whatever I'm doing now, it might not be the best situation for me, but I'm gonna make the best of it. And that's something like when it came to college or something like that. Like I don't look down on people that go to community college or anything like that. I know that was never talked about, but um, I know that there's this kind of stigma or something like that against community colleges, but it's really no matter where you go, it's really about the education that you make of it. Because people go to whatever university, any top tier university, and they can get nothing out of it, and just be an idiot. Or you can go to a really low resource college and then come out on top because you're headstrong and determined. And it's just really about taking the elements of your situation and then using them to your favor, kind of thing.
Yeah, I feel like I have something I've noticed with me is that I never really live in the moment. I always think about the next step. So like, when I first got to college, I was like, oh, I can't wait to graduate. I can't wait to graduate. And then it took like 2 years for me to eventually live in that moment. And, it was short lived, but I still was able to do it. And then at the end of college, I'm just like thinking, oh, I can't wait for work. I can't wait to work. Now I'm at work and I'm not, now I'm like, oh, I can't wait to move. I can't wait to move. And I'm always constantly wanting something new. I'm never like in that
Wow.
moment.
Oh gosh.
That sounds. I don't want to. I'm not
Diagnose
dissing you or
me.
anything, but like I think that sounds like torture, man. Because you can never really enjoy what you have.
Yeah, you can't be happy, right?
Sometimes, I mean, at points I do. I mean, like I said, I think it just takes
It
me
just takes a while.
longer to settle in
Mm.
than I would initially even try to think myself as. I like to think of myself as like adaptable, but I guess I'm not really as adaptable as I think it
You're
takes.
adaptable. It just takes you a little while to
Yeah, that's why.
solidify. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what was your experience, Troy, when you were moving away or like coming out of college? Because I know that there was a period of uncertainty in your life
Yeah.
after you graduated. So what was that like for you, and how did you handle that?
What was like Like
You would,
Coming
before I
out of
got a
yeah,
job.
like doing something
Yeah.
new, like basically like moving to college or starting a jobs in be a fucking
But
E.
specifically graduating from college, because I know that you didn't have a job set
Mhm.
right after. So what
Yeah.
was that like?
That was pretty stressful, honestly. I mean, at least I did have some things to take care of too. Like I had to help my family close down the 30-year-old family business, and that took so much work and like so much like months. So I mean, I was doing that and on the side like still applying to jobs, but like I was placing family first. But then even after that was finished, like it was still like really really hard to get a job. And then in my mind, I was like, I need to get this job so that I can make this money, buy the things I need to make like start my career, start my own life and like, do the things I want to do. So that felt like that was the next big thing I had to do. And if I didn't have that, like I was in pretty much like a lot of turmoil. Like
Hmm.
so that was really really hard. But as soon as I got
Would
that,
you say you ever felt down or like lower than
oh, oh
normal?
definitely, I felt pretty down, especially when you sign up the hundreds of these applications. Half the
Oh
time you get
yeah.
nothing, and the other half you get
Or rejection?
rejection
Yeah,
letters. Yeah,
that's a tough time. I
and it's
remember that.
Yeah.
crazy. Like,
Yeah, we've all had our fair share of applying to multiple jobs and getting a bunch of declines or no answers, right, Tanner?
Okay, well, I got one. I didn't apply to many jobs. In fact, I think I only applied to two jobs, and I
wow.
got rejected from both of them. I applied to IBM and I applied to GM, and I didn't get rejected from GM until like months later.
I'm surprised you got
And
rejected from GM.
yeah, well, I think I had applied way too early, and they're like, so I did my interview in like December or something like that, but I wasn't graduating until summer the next year, and then they were just like, yeah, well, these interviews they went well, but we'll have to schedule something else later on, and just later on meant that they emailed me saying that they didn't want me, so I was just like, okay. All right. And then IBM, I went through a series of interviews with them. I don't know if I talked about it on this podcast, but those interviews were kind of a disaster because they
Yes,
were online.
I remember those.
Yeah. Oh my God. So the way that IBM does their interviews is that they have like a Skype call or something like that. It's some sort of online interview kind of thing. And I had gotten an interview link in an email, and I couldn't find the email to the link to the fucking conference, and I was just freaking out. I was like sitting in my bed, and
You did it on your bed.
I was just sitting because I don't have a desk, so I didn't have anywhere to actually do the interview. So I was just sitting up. I had a dress shirt on. I didn't have anything on the bottom. I was up against my bed wall, so it looked like I had some sort of background behind me,
Oh shoot.
and I couldn't find the email. So I was like super late to the meeting, and in fact, they had to call me in because I couldn't find the link. And I was just
Wow.
banging. So I was sitting up against the wall of my bed, and I was just banging my head against the wall. Oh my fucking
Jeez,
God,
man.
I can't find this thing. Why? Just fucking kill me now. Yeah, it was awful. So I did get through like 2 rounds of interviews, and
Wow.
then they ended up saying, yeah, no. I was like,
I wonder why.
Okay.
yeah, but I don't think that they would have offered me much, and I think it's just kind of for the best. Like
IBM's a good company. I bet they would have offered something good.
I don't think that they would have offered me more than 40 to 50, if I'm gonna be honest, because I wasn't going for a developer position. I was going for
Oh.
like an analyst position.
You were doing the something by degree,
Was that?
consulting by degree.
Was that it? I don't remember,
what it
dude.
was
It was so
called.
long ago.
I think you would.
Yeah.
I think it was minimum 60.
Well, anyways, so those were my two job rejections. And then I got reached out to by a company, and then I was just like, sure. And then we did some interviews, and then I was like, okay. And then that was it.
Easy peasy.
So,
And they didn't
and
even
I
try
kinda-
contacting me. These fucking bastards.
Yeah, well, they did contact Nico, but I don't know. I guess
They wanted that high
think-
GPA, man.
yeah, honestly, they do look at GPA a lot, for that company. So, and luckily I had brought my GPA up from being a CS major, so it was just in time. But if I hadn't gotten that job, I think I would have been fine. I would have just worked in Miami.
I'm
I
sure
would've
you
just
would have
lived in Miami.
found something pretty quickly.
I don't know
Well,
about pretty quickly. I would have found something
you
eventually.
applied
But
in October. Like you got that job in October, right? Last
I
year.
I got the official acceptance letter, or the offer in December,
Okay, yeah,
in
this
January, early January.
yeah, early January. So you had another 10 months to find a job, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah, you would have been fine. I
yeah,
mean, also, so
yeah. There was
how
another career fair
wait,
too.
so how is Wisconsin treating you then?
It's really good. And actually, I have a friend that came up, and I got to show him around my
Friend from
workplace.
where? Where's he from?
He's from Miami.
Oh, of course,
So
yeah.
my friend from Miami came up, and I have something to say about that in a little bit. But I'll segue into it. But he came up, and I got to show him the campus, and he was amazed. He was like, "Wow,
They just
dude, this
allow
is like."
anyone on the work
Really?
campus.
Yeah, I mean, you can just go. I have a key card, so I can get into whatever building. So I showed him my office building. I
Oh
showed
my
him
god.
the Wizard of Oz campus, and I showed him all the really cool things. It's really like, I guess you kind of get what is it? You kind of get jaded by it after a while because I work there all the time, so
Yeah.
it's just like,
Hmm.
okay, all right. I mean, there's still things that amaze me, but it's just like at this point, it's like, okay, just it's nice. But going back to what I was saying, about the story that I want to talk about my friend. So my friend came up, and I'm not gonna say his name or
No,
anything,
you don't
but
have to.
he had flown in from Miami to Milwaukee actually. So right
Jesus,
after work,
Milwaukee?
yeah, to Milwaukee, which is an hour away. So I got my oil changed, and then I just drove over and I picked him up. So that was an hour drive for me there, and then an hour drive for me back. And I was with another friend that attends university up here in Wisconsin. But we went out. Fuck, I don't know if I should say this, but
No,
we
go ahead, go
we went
ahead.
out drinking, and
Oh, how dare
it was
you?
a
How old
really
are you?
no, that's not the part. But it was a great time because we went out to this bar called Whiskey Jack's, and they just have this giant one, like 90 shots just menu on the wall, and they're all like $4, $5, $6 or whatever, and
Six
they're
dollars a
actually pretty
shot.
decent. Yeah, I guess it's kind of pricey when you think about it,
It is a
but
bit pricey.
um, they're good tasting shots to the point where like I was like, this is just sugar water, so we just kept buying them. So bro, that place is a scam, bro. They just
Oh,
scammed me out of like $30 that night. But then we went to another bar and we went dancing, and it was just a really good
yeah, you
time.
went
We were with a
dancing with
bunch
your
of people.
boys.
I mean, no, there was some girls. There was
Me
my
and my
friends were
boys.
there with the boys. Hey, there's nothing wrong with dancing with just your boys, okay?
Oh, was it a gay club too?
No. Well, anyways, um, that night, so at this time it's around like 3, 4 in the morning, and we're getting ready to leave the bar. And so we actually, okay, so this is another funny story. So on our way back,
Mm-hmm.
we came across this guy that was just walking around on the streets, and he was this like, I don't know what ethnicity he was, but he was some sort of Hispanic ethnicity, and he was
See?
just kind of rambling in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
And my friend and my other friend both know Spanish, and I know a little bit of Spanish.
Oh,
And so we just started going up to this guy and conversing. We were like, claro que sí, which means yes, of course, yes, of course. And we were just like reaffirming this guy, and we're like, yeah, dude, totally, for sure. Sí, sí, yo también. But yeah, and the guy was like, yes, man, yeah. And he was preaching. I had no idea what
so
he was
you were
saying.
just fucking with this random poor dude?
No, dude, if anything, he was fucking with us because I don't think we fully understood what he was
Nah,
saying.
you were just antagonizing this
We were
poor
definitely not
this
antagonizing.
helpless man.
He was not
That's
helpless.
I view
I
it the
had
way I
no
want
idea
to.
what, but he was an interesting fellow. But anyway, so we get back to the car, and I just want to preface this by saying that I don't condone any of what we did, and I think it's absolutely wrong.
Oh,
And
terrible.
yeah, and I think it was a big mistake on our part. So we get to the car, and we're getting ready to go back to my friend's apartment, and my friend's apartment is like 3 blocks away. And by this point, we had drinking quite a bit, and
Drinking, yeah.
drunken, and I knew that I couldn't drive, so I was like, yeah, I can't do this. And it was a really short distance, but my other friend was like, yeah, I think I can do this. And he was, if I'm gonna be real, he was a lot more level-headed than I was, to the point where I knew he could drive, but I definitely wouldn't condone it.
Mhm.
and we started driving, and we were like getting pretty close. We were like no more than 2 blocks away from his apartment, from our friend's apartment, and he gets pulled over. So the cops turn on the lights. We get pulled
Oh,
over,
Jesus.
and
How'd they know?
he so
Yeah.
they pull on. Hold on. So they pull up to the window, and they wind down the window, and the cop says, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" And we're like, we don't know. So then the cop was like, "Your headlights were off."
Okay.
And we're like,
Oh.
okay. And he's like, "Where are you headed?" And then I was like, "We're headed to Mount Street. We're going to our friend's apartment." And the cop was like, he told my friend to get out of the car. He's like, "Let me just talk to you. I don't want your friends interfering or something like that." What the fuck, you motherfucker. But anyway, so he gets out of the car, and then I guess he could smell it on us, because I think, we kind of reeked of alcohol by that point.
Of course.
And he had my friend do like the different tests. One of them is apparently you stand on one foot, and I forgot what it was. I don't know if you said the ABC or something like that, but you stand on one foot and you do something. And I was like, what the fuck? And then they just arrested him, and then they had to tow our car, and then my other friend and I had to walk back to the apartment, and it was 4 a.m. And so we were just like, what the fuck did we do? Oh my God. And so we set a plan of action. We were like, okay, the jail opens at 7:45, so we're gonna wake up in 4 hours.
So this dude was just sitting in jail.
Well, listen, yeah. So they had to process him. So he went through the drunk tank, and then he went through. He told us his experience afterwards, and I'll tell it to you afterwards as well. But I'll just tell you from our point of view. So it was 4 a.m. and we were like, in 4 hours we're gonna wake up. I'm gonna go get my car from the impound lot. And
they towed your car. It was your car.
They towed my car, bro. So and my other friend is gonna go to the jailhouse and get him out. And so that's exactly what we did. We woke up at 4 a.m, called an Uber to take me to the impound lot, and my other friend called another Uber to go to the courthouse or the jailhouse to get my friend out. And so I get in my car, and my other friend texts me. He's like, "I can't get him out. I have a blood alcohol level of 0.03."
He
and
still has one?
I mean, it was only 4 hours since. Yeah, but 0.03 is a very small amount.
Yeah,
okay.
They check him too?
So yeah, they checked him because he's gonna be responsible for our friend that was arrested. And so they wouldn't let our friend pull him out because he didn't blow a 000. So we had to wait another like 3 or 4 hours. So I just drove home.
Why didn't you go and blow?
Because I'm pretty sure I would have had a higher level than my friend. So I went home and I just took a shower, slept, and then we went back and we got him out. And so
did you guys have to pay bond or something, or bail?
Yeah, dude. It was $1,900.
Oh, Jesus.
So whatever you do, don't go drunk driving. And also, when I said earlier that I would have blown higher than him, I decided once I heard that he wasn't able to get him out and that I still had alcohol in my system, I sat in the parking lot for a good while. Like I was like, okay, I'm not driving because I don't want to take any chances at all. So I just took a nap in my car, and then I drove home, and then I drove back. So it was just a really long day for me, man. And that was just all like 12 hours ago. What time is it now? 11
p.m.
He hasn't even, my friend hasn't even been out of jail for more than 10 hours. So
$1,900.
$1,900
Of his own money, or of your own money?
It was his money. It was his money.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So whatever you do, don't go drunk driving, because you just call an Uber, man. It's not worth $1,900.
That's smart.
And a DUI.
Yeah. I thought this was a really good story, actually. I hope this convinces at least one person to not do what you did.
Don't do it, and don't do it not just because of the monetary factor.
That's true,
but also because
it's dangerous.
It's dangerous. You could hurt yourself. You could hurt your friends, and you could hurt strangers. So, yeah, that's my story.
Damn.
But apparently they gave him like this hot dog that was basically inedible while he was in there. Apparently, so he was eating. He was given the hot dog, and he took a bite, and he was like, "Oh!" And then a guy behind him was like, after a while, everything tastes the same.
Oh,
And he was
jeez.
like, Yeah, so apparently it's like set up where there's like 20 bunks in just this large room, and so they just have like these people hanging around in it.
that's the drunk pen or
Oh,
drunk. Is
okay.
that the drunk cage or was that actually the
I
Dang.
don't know. I think that was the actual the jail.
Because I thought people got individual cells or like ones they share.
I think that's like a prison. I think that's a different, structure.
Oh right, yeah, this is a jail.
But apparently, like, there's no clocks in the room, so the only way to tell the time is to go up to the phone. You press 1, and then it tells you 15 or something like that.
Oh Jesus! Oh,
Yeah.
I never want to go to jail.
Don't go to jail. It's an awful time. 0 out of 10 Yelp review, man. I
would rape, not rape.
Whoa! That's how you go to jail, dude.
I meant rate.
Okay. What were you saying?
I was gonna ask, have any of us ever been arrested before? I have never been arrested. I know, Troy.
No.
Have you ever been arrested or dealt with any? Have you ever had a cop encounter?
No.
Real well.
Never even been pulled over?
I mean,
Speeding ticket. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure you're looking for like more
yeah, we're looking for
serious.
Yeah, some nefarious acts.
Yeah, like rape.
I remember, back in my old neighborhood, we used to egg houses.
Oh,
Even my own house, we egged.
Why do you egg your own house, man? You don't shit where you eat, man. What the
Your
fuck?
dad freaking comes out. It's like, Jason,
Get off my lawn! Except for you, get back in your room.
I did it to fuck with my sisters, and like it was so dumb. Like,
you were a troublemaker.
looking back, I'm like, what a waste of eggs. And then I had to clean up the mess afterwards too. So
it makes sense.
He's so stupid.
He's like, I guess I'll clean it up for my
How would
son.
your sisters react? Like, how would that fuck with your sisters?
they didn't care because
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine they would. They're just like, why is our brother fucking throwing eggs at the house?
I used to also love ding dong ditching people.
Dang, this is so old school.
Yeah, and then one day we ding
Set
dong
a bag of shit on fire.
I never tried that. I would never shit on a
No, you
paper
get your
bag.
dog to do it.
No, I just pick it up and throw it in.
Ew.
Oh,
But I think we ding dong ditched a cop one time, and he came out and he saw us hiding in the bushes. So he basically he was like, I see you, and we're like, he's bluffing. He doesn't know.
oh my god! How old are you at this point?
Like 11, maybe.
Oh, this.
Oh, okay, that's
old,
better.
man.
For some reason,
Between 9
Okay.
and last week, man.
for some reason, I thought you were like 15 or 16. I was like, wait.
Nah, I just got caught last week. What do you think I was?
Oh,
That's crazy.
No,
man.
and he
I could
comes
never
out,
imagine
he calls
that.
us out, and then we were like, oh shit, the jig's up. So we walk out, and he kind of scolds us. He's like, you know what? I could take you to jail for ding dong ditching. Blah blah blah. Like, oh really?
Can you?
I don't know. I fucking doubt it. I fucking doubt it. It's just maybe.
Imagine if you could, though. Imagine like the people that are. That's like getting arrested for jaywalking.
Dude, what are you in for? I fucking
Would you even fucking like if I was in for jaywalking, dude? I would say something. I would say like to the other inmates, I'd be like, yeah, dude, it was something else.
Yeah,
I
I hit a fucking car with my car, man. I fucking killed someone. You better watch out. Otherwise, I'll murder your ass.
Yeah.
But no, nothing, Troy. Tanner, anything from you?
I've had cop encounters. Yeah, I got
How
I got a
many?
couple speeding tickets.
No,
I
not
got
that.
2 speeding
No.
tickets.
Wow.
Not that.
We're talking about something more nefarious.
It has to be more than this.
I feel like I got a parking ticket at some point.
I said
too. I have gotten a
nefarious.
parking ticket.
Nefarious. These are just simple traffic tickets.
I've gotten a written arrest before.
A written arrest, so it's on your
Oh.
record.
It's not because I did the time, meaning
Okay.
I did some volunteer work, which was actually really fun. So the volunteer
Oh
work
my
that I had to do involved going around the streets of Tallahassee and picking up trash,
That's good. That's
which
good.
was nice because we got to go to like these parts of Tallahassee that you don't really ever drive by. So I got to see some really like beautiful big
Yeah, you
farms
and your other
while
inmates.
I'm picking up trash.
You
Are
guys
you wearing
have
an orange jumpsuit?
I was gonna say I was wearing an orange vest, not a jumpsuit.
Did
But
you,
yeah.
did you have like the chain links on your ankles with
A
you,
shock
with
ankle?
you
No.
and your other inmates, and you guys are singing like a nice
No.
soulful music song?
I wish we had that camaraderie amongst.
The cage bird
in the
sings.
water.
No, it wasn't quite like that. But I remember at some point I had brought ravioli with me for lunch. So I just like when we were out there in the when we were
that's
taking our lunch
hardcore.
break, I would just open a can of ravioli and start eating.
That's
I don't know you've
hardcore.
done that too before.
I like ravioli, so.
No, I love ravioli, but I
You're
don't
talking about just
understand
eating from the
can.
can, not even like cooking it.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
I
that-
need to heat that up.
No,
No,
I eat it.
I
straight
like
from
my
the
shit
can.
heated up.
I like it.
But I-
lukewarm.
But that, I
Wait,
mean,
but you-
that was
wait,
my
so-
first time trying it cold.
Wait, so why were you arrested?
Yes.
Is the question. That's on everyone's
Okay.
head right now.
Well, it's a very complex situation,
Uh huh.
and
how
I think
complex
that it
could it
would be a lot to explain on this podcast.
We got the time. We got the time.
Okay.
We're not on a schedule.
All right. So, I got in trouble for Okay, all right. I'll just say. So, we were okay. Let me give some background context so you understand the situation of what was going on. So, I had a
She
friend.
was only 5. Come on.
I had a friend that was feeling upset because there was this girl that he liked, and he was just having some problems with this girl that he liked and whatever. And so I thought he asked me if he asked me to smoke because he was just feeling down, and he was like, yeah, whatever, blah blah blah, this will make me feel better. And I was like,
Cigarettes, right?
yeah,
A certain type of
We'll
cigarette.
just say that it's a certain type of
A
cigarette.
cigarillo.
No, those are gross. But he was okay, yeah. So he was
finish it.
yeah, he was really feeling down, and I was like, sure, dude, I'll help you out. You know, we'll just hang out and we'll talk about it. And so that's what we did. We were okay. This was my freshman year, so I was living in a dorm, and in the dorm, I talked to him about it, and I wasn't actually smoking, so I would I would suck in, and then I would just immediately blow out. I wouldn't even take it to my lungs, so I wasn't, inebriated or intoxicated or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
faded, bruh.
no, but it was definitely filling up the room, and so it seeped under the door, and one of the RAs smelt it, and so they called the campus cops, and so they came in and
They busted down that door.
and they knocked politely on the door, and I was like, hold on, I'm doing something, and then put stuff in the freezer.
Did they
and then-
rush you? They're like, hey, we know what's going on here.
No, they didn't. I mean, they can't. They're not allowed to go in unless I allow them in. But yeah.
They got
So
probable
eventually,
cause.
I just told them where everything was, and I was just like, yeah, fuck it. Like I'm not scared because
You didn't do
I
anything.
didn't really feel like I did anything wrong.
But they still
But-
arrested you.
They ripped me up, and so I just had to fill out some paperwork. I got to put in I got to give myself an alias, which was pretty cool. And I was just joking around with the cops,
I'm a Tanner the Chinny Chin Chin.
and we were just having. I feel like we were just having a good time because I was just like, because they understood that like it was kind of a stupid thing to like, it was a stupid process. So I was just joking around with them and everything, and everything went well. I just had to do some community service, and
then they smoked with you.
and then yeah, we just smoked cigarettes in the back.
Dang.
But I had to do some community service, and it was all good. So
Name a more iconic duo than Tanner and community service. Am I right? Am I
that's
right?
what I do, man. I sure love my community.
Before this year is over, before 2019, it's going to be more set of community service.
I feel,
Yeah.
but you were kind of forced into that. You never did community service just as a human being, as a nice, gracious gesture.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, if you count the club work that I did, that's community service. But I will say that I never did community service in high school. And I know that it's like required for
It is
like
required. I think it's like
Yeah.
40. I think.
So I figured a way around that.
Aw,
But
it's okay. So
yeah, I mean, like when I first joined the clubs, I was super active and I would help out all the time. So I would say that I'm a very
but I meant
service.
helping the community.
That's helping the community.
No, it's not. I don't consider that helping the community.
You don't consider helping ASU and tearing down tables and putting up chairs. That's helping the community.
No, I mean like helping someone you don't know. Like
the
I
city.
didn't know them at that time.
I meant like someone not affiliated with you. You
I
ever
wasn't
just
affiliated.
go up and just help an old woman cross the street?
Oh, actually, I have a story regarding that. Regarding
You've
something
helped
like
a
that.
woman
So
cross. The
no, I haven't. I don't think I've ever helped a woman cross the street before. Wait, no, I think.
I've had
think
I've
I
had a
have, but-
story like that, except it's a woman trying to kidnap me.
Oh, true.
Really?
Why don't you share that story and then I'll share mine.
All right. So we were when I was around the between 9 and 11 age period again. We went to go visit Montreal. Canada.
That was a very a
Trying
very
time for me.
yeah trying time for your childhood.
Yeah, that's where
I love that range.
all my mischief.
9 to 11.
Yeah, nothing older.
All right, go ahead.
But we're in Montreal, Canada, and we're inside Chinatown. And I brought some smoke bombs from America, because we get that shit. And I thought it'd be cool if we just go out down into China, down into the outside and light them. So me and my sisters are out there. We're sitting in the middle of like Chinatown, lighting up some smoke bombs. And some nice looking white woman comes across the street, and she's like, "Hi," and shakes our hand. "Hi, my name's whatever her name, Gertrude. What's your name? Jason, Jessica, Grace."
Oh shoot!
We're like, "Oh, nice. She's very nice." She's like, and then she kind of tugs on my little sister's hand. She's like, "Hey, you guys want to come to my car?" I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now?" And then she tugs a little bit harder. I'm like, "No, we're good. We are good." And I became the most like responsible like gentleman in the moment, and I was like, "We will not go." And then she's like, "All right, all right." And you see her walking away, and she looks back and like, you guys sure? You guys can come to my car? It's all good." And we're like, "Nah."
Dude, what if she had like all the candy that you could ever dream of
I-
in that car, and then she would have just let you go? She was like, "Yeah, I just wanted to give you guys."
She
some
didn't
candy."
say anything about the candy. If she said candy, we would have gone.
Oh,
She
true.
was just
She didn't have the tactics.
That would have been the breaking point for your response.
yeah. But, all she just asked was, "Do we want to come into her car or something?" I mean, it's not really much of a
Dude.
court. She didn't court us
What
well.
if?
And then
what
we
if your
ran
dad-
we ran upstairs. We ran upstairs into our building. It was like, "Holy shit, we almost got kidnapped." And we told our dad, and he's just like, yeah, whatever again. And then we told our aunt, and then she's like, "Oh my god, where?" She comes downstairs. She's like, "Where is she? I'll find her." And then, but my dad, I guess either my dad knew we were
Bro,
responsible.
he wasn't taking any of that Star Wars shit in your dream, and he wasn't taking this bullshit about.
So just from these two stories I only
IRL.
heard about your dad, it seems your dad don't give an F.
You don't give it.
He's like-
Maybe he thinks like he knows we're responsible enough not to go into that, so he's just like,
I don't know, because his son is throwing eggs at his own house. I don't know if he should.
And then you
That's
said if
important.
she said there was candy in the car, you would have gone.
"Oh, maybe if she said there was like a Nintendo 64 in there or something, it would have been gone. You wouldn't
That would
have
have been a game changer.
I wouldn't be here right now."
Well, what about you, Troy? Have you ever had like a close encounter
Of the third
with
kind?
getting kidnapped?
Nah, he was too
Not
fat
that I
as
can
a kid.
remember right now.
He had the.
What?
There was you've ever seen that shit that's like beat kidnapping or something because they're fat or too fat to kidnap.
Oh no, I haven't seen that.
No, I've never heard that.
Not here, little man, and you get some
No, I don't
buff
think,
dude.
I don't think I've ever been close to getting kidnapped either, but I've heard
Yeah.
people like tell stories about
You ever
it. and I'm like, what the
come
heck?
close to like where something super dangerous could have happened to you?
Yeah, actually,
Where, like,
one time.
Probably every
Like,
kid
like
actually.
like a death scare. Like if you did
Yeah.
if you moved one step to the left, you
Yeah,
would have been dead.
that's exactly what happened to me actually. So I was, I don't remember how old I was. I think I was in elementary school, and I was playing out in front of my grandmother's house, and her street kind of it's like a semi main road. It's not like a main road, but it gets a good amount of traffic on it. And there was this like a 16 wheeler driving down the road, and I was just playing around on the sidewalk, kind of close to the road. And I had just jumped and I stepped right next to the road, and the 16 wheeler wheels were like literally a foot away from my foot. So if I had just moved over, if I had leaned over, I would have gotten fucking yapped. My head would just be gone, bro.
Oh my gosh, man.
That's about it, though. That's
so my story about how I almost died. I was at a amusement park called like Shipwreck or something in Florida, and I was in like the wave pool. I'm a tiny weak kid. I can't even really know how to swim, and I somehow got sucked into the deeper parts of it. So I start drowning and
indoor pool.
No, so, I mean, so it's out. It's outside. It's a whole outside like amusement park.
Oh, okay. Wait. So
Like
so
water.
Is this like a
is it like an artificial pool then?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I thought.
Oh,
But I am
What?
like super small and weak.
What's a real pool?
I
and what's
meant
an
like
artificial
I meant
pool?
like whether it was attached to the ocean or not.
Pools aren't attached to the ocean,
Okay,
man.
not the
That
pool.
means-
Not the pool. Forget the pool part. The pool is just like
He said pool.
I know, but I meant was it artificial or was it connected to the ocean? Was it
Okay, all right.
It's an amusement park, just man-made, right?
Wow.
I'm weak. I don't know how to swim. I'm flailing around in there, and I'm yelling for help. I'm looking right at the lifeguard, like up there, and they're just chilling. They don't even see me. They're just chilling like this. And I actually thought I was gonna die. I
How
was
old
like,
were you?
I feel like I was like 5 or 6, like something really
Oh,
young.
Crap.
Yeah, maybe younger. And now I was flailing around, and then luckily somehow by like a miracle.
Of
By the way, I
God.
don't believe in
God.
miracles. By the way, I don't
God.
believe in miracles, but
Oh,
almost like a
God.
miracle. My cousin that came with me to the amusement park because I went with my relatives. She saw me and grabbed me and pulled me to safety.
Oh, that's
Out
not
of
a
like all the
miracle.
people, out of all the people that were there, and like she wasn't with me for the time too. I was pretty much by myself.
Mm.
Damn.
That's not
So
a
she's
miracle. She was your guardian angel.
I guess so.
I've had a
That's
similar
crazy.
story actually. When I was 3, we went out to the beach, and I was 3, so I think I was swimming out into the ocean, and at some point, like I got a lot of salt water into my mouth, and I'm like, and I remember like kind of like almost passing out, and I remember screaming and reaching my hand, like yelling for my family, but to no avail. No one heard anything. And I remember waking up like on the shore, kind of
Oh, like a movie.
like
Oh my
like I
God.
just washed up somewhere. I'm like, I'm alive.
Castaway, you're fucking
Yeah.
Tom Hanks.
Me and my fucking volleyball over here. Wait, is it volley? Yeah. It
What's
is
his name? His name is Wilson. Yeah.
Wilson.
Mm.
Damn, that's crazy. I don't think I've ever really had like a close drowning experience. I learned to swim at a really young age.
It
'cause
took
we
me
had-
until like 12 to learn to swim. So.
Oh damn.
Me too. Me
Yeah.
too.
Someone's mom pushed me into their pool, and that kind of forced me to learn.
Oh god.
I know.
At 12 years old, what
Yeah.
the?
Yeah. 12
No, I
year
had
old,
a pool-
at 12 years, that's when fear is already a thing. in you. So it was ingrained
gonna
in me
fucking
how
die.
deadly that could have been.
Mm.
Yeah, no, but we used to play this game. My cousins and I used to play this game in the pool called Around the World. And so basically,
Is that the basketball game?
no, it's a game where you hang around the ledges of the pool, all around the edges, and there's one person in the middle that's a shark, and you're only safe in the corners. So if they catch you anywhere in between, traversing through the corners, you're out. And
Okay.
you can connect. So like if somebody's touching the corner
Ah.
and you're holding on to that person, then you're still safe. But we used to play that game all the time as little kids, and like being the shark in the middle is pretty terrifying because like that's you're like because we're young and we're short, and so we don't our feet don't touch the ground. So like we're like trying to stay above water and simultaneously like swim to people. I was the worst at that game when it came to being the shark because I would just like I'd be like I just give up at some point. I'd be like, yeah, I'm never gonna catch you guys.
We played a quiet version, a silent version of Marco Polo instead.
Oh, so you just hear them out underwater?
Yeah. I forgot what we called it. It was like maybe shark, I think. We called it shark.
I like that.
It's a lot funner. Like you just
I love Marco Polo.
No, but like Marco Polo, because if you say Marco, they have to say Polo. But this time you just like you do a little
Yeah,
splash.
but
over
Behind
here.
your senses.
You're
You're like
like
training this kids to be like Navy SEAls or something.
Yeah, let's-
Like shh, 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 oh, and they go over here. You know, like
Yeah. We also used to do a thing where like someone would throw quarters or like coins into the bottom of the pool, and we would have to dive
Oh,
for
I
it.
would do that too.
I don't know why that's so fun, but it
It's
just
fun because
Just
you
get.
like
I think getting anything from the bottom of the pool
Yeah.
is cool because
Yeah.
you feel like
It's
you're
like-
rescuing someone or you're showing like a skill.
no. We're treasure
Abe,
hunting.
I've got you.
Oh, Nicolas Cage.
Nicholas.
Oh no,
Cage.
I was Abe from Abraham Lincoln.
Oh,
All right, never mind. Cut it. Cut it.
cut it.
Rest in peace, dude.
Yeah, no, it was fun when it was like a nickel, so it was like hard to
A
find.
nickel.
So it was like a scavenger hunt, you know? You just throw some in there. And it's
Maybe a dime was even worse.
yeah,
Yeah,
or a
that's
penny.
true.
And
No,
you have
but
to
the
do
penny-
it.
it's brown, though.
See, yeah, you can see it
brown.
against. Because I had like a dark blue pool,
Oh,
so you can see the
wow,
brown.
fancy.
Wow.
It keeps it warm in the summertime.
I never had a pool.
Oh dang! I had a pool and my grandmother had a pool, so like in the
So that means
summertime.
you're gonna have a pool.
Yeah,
Yeah, when I
by
go.
process.
Yeah,
of
I don't know about that
elimination.
because maintaining a pool is a bitch.
It's expensive. It also
It's
it raises your property value though.
No, I
Yeah.
think nowadays you're right that it's expensive, but I think maintaining it is now than you think. At least from what I've seen, my sister maintain her pool. It seems very low maintenance.
How
Like, you
much
just
does she pay a month or something?
Does
I
she
don't
have a? Does she have a pool?
Is it a
boy?
saltwater pool?
No. Oh, it's a salt.
saltwater
No,
pools are really good.
Oh, so like it's just regular chlorine.
it's just regular, and then like
No,
they
yeah,
have like
no,
the
dude, it's
machines
a-
and buttons to do stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, man. Because at
Yeah.
least for my home down in Miami, like it's just such a pain in the butt, and my mom's just like, yeah, I don't. This is too much
Dang.
work. It's not worth it.
There's a
anymore.
pool in your house. I don't remember ever seeing it.
I don't know if we went out in the back. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I showed it to you.
I think you might have, and I think it was dirty or something.
Yeah, it probably was.
like green.
It's just hard to. Yeah.
It's green.
It's
I don't
natural
know
color.
if it might have been green at the time. Yeah,
It's
Probably,
very
knowing the pool.
possible. And nasty ass algae growing up in there. Who knows what could have been in there?
it's a natural pool.
It's almost like a
okay?
vat of acid. I could have put
It
my
makes you
arm in
stronger.
there. Oh, I don't know about that. I mean,
You
acid
swallow it, and then like all those bacteria, like you
Yeah.
just become immune
creates
to it, and then
superpowers, right?
you gain
Yeah.
superpowers. Like
That's like when you
Right,
eat
dude.
yogurt. You know, yogurt.
Yogurt
It's
is
bacteria.
basically the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, same
Greek
thing.
yogurt. I think regular yogurt is not the same.
No, it is
I
too. Because
don't
when
know
I,
if we
when I
talked
eat the
about this.
Go-Gurt tubes, the Go-Gurt, you guys remember Go-Gurt?
Yeah, Go-Gurt
That
was
they
a lot.
had bacteria in it. Was that how I
Yeah,
got
I
my
read
E.
it on the
coli
thing.
my
I
E.
mean,
coli
yogurt
poisoning?
is bacteria. Yogurt
Yeah,
is
yogurt.
Like, that bacteria.
It doesn't have to be
that's
Greek
the essence
specific.
of yogurt. It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
bacteria.
Oh.
But I was gonna say, I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast already. But if
Yes.
you like, okay, so for example, if you go into like a pool like that and you get a superpower, what kind of superpower would you want to have?
talked about this.
No.
Nah,
What would you choose?
I always predict the
Many.
future. Going back to how we started this podcast,
No, you're gonna regret that. You know what I'm saying?
I not predict the future. I just I want to.
Some things aren't meant to be known, man.
Control time.
You know that? Yeah, I guess.
Is it?
yeah.
Or is it even?
Like
Oh, I
you,
thought you were
like,
about to
when-
relate it to like click like that.
Oh, bro, don't, bro. That fucking movie.
Movie is
When I
so
saw it
sad.
when I was like 13 years old, dude, that shit actually brought a tear to my eye.
Yeah, when Adam Sandler's talking to his dad, and his dad,
His-
he's just
No, he's talking to
he's talking to
himself.
himself. Yeah, because he's like
It's like,
ignoring
put down
all
the
his friends.
fucking phone.
Put it. Look at your father.
What are you doing? Yeah, dude, I was like,
Oh, that's like Interstellar when he's in the Tesseract and he's trying to tell.
oh, that is,
not
that's
go.
exactly
He's
like,
like,
it.
stay.
Yeah.
No.
And one of the soundtracks from that movie is called "Stay."
Oh, I remember that one.
Click was so fucking sad.
Click is one of Adam Sandler's best movies. But yeah, anyways, your other I already listed my superpower.
So predicting the future,
Or like controlling time.
controlling time. I
That's
think
so-
mine. If you guys have seen the TV show Heroes,
Oh my
I would
God.
definitely want
You want to be Hayden
like, have you guys
Panettiere?
what
You want
with
to be-
Hayden Panettiere? Yeah,
You want to be her?
she's the reason I started watching the show. I was like, damn,
She
bro.
is
I was that was like what grade was I in? I was in middle school for sure. Like, damn, bro. she
I
hot.
remember watching her in Bring It On. All or
The
Nothing.
very first time I saw her was for like an acne product,
I
she was like,
yeah,
you-
Oh, she did do that.
Proactive or whatever.
and I was like, her skin does look pretty good.
I'm glad that we all have some sort of like experience.
Yeah,
with her in
we
our
saw her
college.
somewhere.
Then
Yeah.
she like disappeared off the face of the earth. So
Yeah.
can we get
yeah.
an F in the
Yeah.
chat for Hayden Panettiere?
Yes.
I'll give you that. I would choose being able to analyze things And so I'll give you an example. So hold on, listen. So the bad guy in the show was able to like analyze things and understand them, and he could steal other people's powers by well, one thing that he also had telekinesis, and that also enabled him to like be able to cut things. He just like look at it, point at it, and like cut things out of it. So he would cut people's heads off, look at their brain, and then get their superpower.
What the hell?
What the heck?
So if I could do that, dude,
This man's
bro,
OP.
yeah, that's what
Dang,
I'm
that's
saying.
so
I just
weird.
cut your fucking head off and then learn how to predict the future, and then like it doesn't like that's like the power to gain all powers. But okay, so say if I didn't have
That's
that
such a
power, then I would
yeah.
just choose telekinesis. I think telekinesis is cool.
Telekinesis.
Wow, that's so interesting. I feel like compared to you two, like I want something just so much more simple. Like I'm actually afraid of being too powerful. You know, I feel like it will like diminish my quality of life
With
or like
great
how I can
power
enjoy it.
comes
Really?
great
Yeah,
responsibility.
I feel like if I was able like to control time or something, I wouldn't feel like proud of anything I do anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like I could just play any hard guitar piece as fast as I want, or become so good and just pause time and then become like 100-year-old like proficient. Like I don't know.
Hey.
Like I think that's too good.
Nah.
That's
I-
crazy.
I would
I mean,
try to predict the stock market or like
Yeah, exactly. And I
know
feel like
what's
those
the
things are
winning
too
ticket.
few. I feel like for me, the superpower I get from that pool, I just want it to be a nice quality of like super strength or like maybe some super speed or
Maybe
something.
you
like,
just
so
wanna
simple.
be able to turn off the microwave at the 0.0 second mark
Yeah.
every time.
Sure. But I just want it to be a supplement. Like I still want like life to be myself, and then if I also happen to have this convenient superpower, cool.
I think like a good convenient. Okay, let's list a couple of convenient superpowers.
Yeah. Yeah, so
we have a
no,
friend.
nothing too OP, just something convenient like that's enough.
You can you don't have to ever put your clothes in a laundry and dryer machine.
Oh,
Wait,
and if
that's
they
like-
could just come out folded.
Yeah, it comes out
Yes.
folded.
I
The Foldatron.
Okay, so as a result, that's fine, but that can't be your literal power. Like,
That's my literal
You have a
power.
power that helps that become possible.
Or I just look
know,
at my
just
clothes.
telekinesis.
Like for example,
Guys, telekinesis.
levitation. You're levitating your clothes into the laundry, and you're turning the dial with levitation.
Oh,
like,
no.
something like
No,
that.
that would be telekinesis. That's
No,
not
in my
levitation.
head, I was imagining like I literally look at my laundry and it's done.
What?
Or
You cut out.
I just like I just snap my fingers.
Oh, and then it's done.
and
Like
it's done.
bewitched.
Yeah, bewitched. I'm a witch.
Well, you know what I always thought about? I thought like if you have telekinesis, and telekinesis is the ability to move objects with your mind, you could just move your shoes, and you could levitate. You know what I'm saying? You just like
Yeah, like
roll your
Magneto
shoes to
does.
move up.
He levitates his metal helmet so he can fly
Yeah,
and stuff.
he puts like metal things on his arms. I think.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, exactly. Dude, Magneto's so cool. I love
He is
Magneto.
pretty
Oh,
cool.
here's a good wireless charging. Whenever it's on me, like if I put it in my pocket, charge.
So you
Yeah.
just exude
But it will
like
consume your
electromagnetic
nutrients,
energy.
though. It will consume.
Yeah,
your
so like I
nutrients,
have to
though.
eat more calories.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
You
Would
guys
you-
remember that cartoon, Static Shock?
Oh
Like,
my fucking
didn't
God.
he have to like eat more than normal because when he uses his electricity, like it costs so much power?
I've never watched Static Shock, so I'm not too sure.
Yeah,
Really,
it's
I love
so
that as a kid.
Nah.
I do love. Speaking of like
Interesting.
old cartoon, that was a cartoon, right?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know.
speaking of old
have you ever seen
cartoons, no, yeah, no. Well, I was gonna say Jackie Chan Adventures.
Jackie Chan.
Uh-huh.
And
Adventures.
having like the power of those talismans would be pretty fucking dope.
I
I
forgot.
know
I
there's
forgot
one
what
where,
the
like-
powers did. What
Yeah.
are the powers?
One of them was like a talisman of a bunny, and you would like walk super fast, or you could just move super fast.
So you hold it in your hand and then you have
You
the
hold
power.
it, yeah, and then
A
you have the power.
talismans.
Jackie.
Jackie.
Jade.
I know another one. I think another one was like you could walk through walls or some shit like that. It was like some cool ass shit. And apparently, there's a dragon at the end that tries to kill everybody, and it's like,
Yeah.
well, it's pretty dope. So Jackie Chan just like kicks his ass.
Wow.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe like a convenient superpower would be just like washing the dishes really fast.
Shooting like high pressured water out of your fingers, so you could just like spray the dishes.
Oh,
in.
and I spray all those protesters in front of me.
Whoa,
Sit
whoa,
down,
whoa, whoa,
kid.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sit down, kid. Fuck off my streets.
I would turn my hand sideways and then.
So you're more accurate. Accuracy, man.
Yeah, and for maximum disrespect, sometimes I would like spit it out of my mouth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. and I would do some hand signs first before I did it to make
So,
them think like,
Man,
like,
like
Naruto was a documentary.
yeah, based on a true
documentary.
story.
Oh,
It's the history of our
actually,
past.
another convenient one. I keep thinking of all these convenient ones. If I could like exude light from like my forehead or something.
Just your forehead? Why not your whole body?
Or yeah, I could be like a glowing like torchlight or something.
I always
Yeah.
thought that from Fantastic Four, Torch's powers were like super badass. I was like, damn,
They
he
are,
cool.
but like he get
It's like, and like a fucking fire pops out of his hand.
but that's not convenient.
That is
Yeah.
convenient.
I don't think it's too convenient because like
If you ever like
now
need to
you
light a
dangerous
cigarette
too.
like
I think
that,
now
or
you have
if
too
it's
much
cold,
power. It has to be.
You remember?
It has to be a power that's convenient but not overly powerful.
Yeah, that's like too powerful.
Yeah.
Like remember he heated up to like the heat of a supernova or something.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
is that in the movie? Did that happen?
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel another one would be like I don't ever have to tie my shoes ever again. I just wear slip-ons.
Well, I mean, that doesn't have to be your superpower, or you can just buy fucking Crocs.
I'm already a
That's so funny. Everything Jason is suggesting is like the end result is the power. Clean dishes, clean laundry, don't wear shoes.
yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I feel it's interesting that you feel that way about having superpowers, like the whole like the responsibility and everything. But I don't give a fuck, dude. I just feel like
Uh-huh.
I have this. Like I wouldn't abuse it, but I'd be like
Yeah.
I'd definitely make
You
my
might
life easier.
you might abuse it.
Yeah, I guess I don't know until it happens.
Yeah.
But I'd be like, fucking toss his bottle over into the trash or something without fucking moving or something.
Ah,
What
I
a way!
see.
What a way to use your powers.
Yeah.
Or like, I guess like if you have telekinesis, can you exert pressure on things? And could I just like pressure cook food?
Listen, I don't know the science behind telekinesis. Like,
Okay, all right. I'm
if there's
just
what sort of physics it has or thermodynamics of it.
trying to propose.
If you believe,
additional uses.
if you do believe telekinesis can do it, I think you know what, more,
fuck it, why not?
more power to you. Power.
Power.
You guys want to call it a show there?
Yeah, I think.
I
that sounds
agree.
about right.
I think it's about that time.
That was a good Saturday 4.5.
Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you for coming out
Thank
for
you.
episode 4.5. We have some links in the description for our Spotify, Instagram, and subscribe to our channel. Leave any comments or questions that you would like us to answer in the comment section below. And with that, thank you guys for watching.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Goodbye.